Hi, chat. Hey. Ow, I just bit my lip. Oh, holy fuck. Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. My mouth, like, twitched, and I just slammed down. Oh, my God. Oh, that sucks so bad. Ugh, but I'm in the right mindset, though, because pain is but of the mind. You know? Pain just is the mind just telling you something's wrong. And I'm here to help you with that. Okay? I'm here to help you figure out what's wrong. What's going on? What's happening? Everything okay? No? Well, if you are someone that got chosen for, for the advice, then maybe I'll make your day better. But if you didn't, then well, shit out of luck. We had a very extensive screening process. There were a few thousand of you who needed advice, and we chose only the best of the best, really. From what I've heard, we've chosen the best of the best. Have I seen it? Nope. I have not seen a single I have not seen a single one. I have not seen a single one of these submissions yet. So I'm curious. I'm curious to see what it's gonna be. I'm curious to see what you guys need advice for, because I've heard that there's some wild ones out here. That there's some crazy ones here. That only the best psychological mind will be able to handle, and that's me. That's me. I'm ready. Listen, all right. I went to IOP, all right, for 3 months. I went to therapy for 3 months, and so I'm good. I'm good to go. I can give advice on pretty much anything. You know? That's pretty much it. Did you get kicked out? No, I graduated. I graduated, actually. Thank you. Thank you, a T, for the 11 months. Don't wait. Okay, I'm not gonna ask what that means, actually. I'm really not gonna ask what that means. What Okay, so wait. Okay, never mind. I'm not gonna ask what that. I'm not gonna ask what that chat message meant. It's fine. It's fine. I'm not gonna ask what it meant. I'm just not gonna ask what it meant. And that's about all we're gonna talk about that. Let's talk about something else, though. You guys, a while back and recently as well, because we reopened it, gave your things that you needed advice on. All right. And listen, I'm only one person. All right, and there's a lot of you, so I wasn't able to get all of them, from what I can tell. But let's see what was chosen here. Let's figure out what was chosen. Oh, so with a diploma in the back, I graduated. I got my degree. All right. Oh my God, you guys can't see it. Hold on. Let me show you guys the full background of this. Hold on. There we go. There's the full background. The ceiling titty is censored. That's awesome. Yeah, that's right, guys. I got my degree, and it's real. All right. Well, let's figure out what you guys gotta ask. Let's just hop right into it. Let's figure it out together. Okay. Hi. How's it going? How are you? I get bitches when the bitches are scared of me. Okay. All right. So we're immediately starting on an awful note. Okay. All right. So hold on. Okay, so by scared, what do you mean? Because is your interpretation of scared like no one's coming up to you, and so you think they're scared of you? Or is it a case of you know that they're scared of you? Because if it's the second one, then I don't feel like I'm well equipped to handle this, and I feel like you should probably go think about it a little bit more, because all these questions have zero context. I know that's what makes it hard, because scared is a very broad term, and it also is up to interpretation. So I would say if they're actually scared of you, don't maybe think about who you are as a person. Think about who you are as a person, really. Because if you're actually scaring people away, then maybe there's something about you. I don't know. Sorry, that's shitty advice. Maybe it is you. I don't know. Oh, okay, well, no, that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. Hold on, let me go. Hold on. Let me think about my. Let me let me think about my notes here. Hold on. Let me go through my notes. No, I'm saying. No, what I'm saying is like there might be a deeper issue within you that you might have to think about, and there's not context here. I don't know. I don't know what they're saying here. Listen, okay, but then if it's just a case of like, you feel like people are not like, engaging with you in the way that you want them to, I would say like it's hard to listen. This is a hard thing to do when there's no context here because I don't know. I think there's more context as we get further along, but it could be you, but it could also not be you. So just kind of I would say also don't focus on people being potential romantic partners. That's a good one. I would say that if the first thing that you're like thinking about when you're meeting new people or thinking about people is like having them as like a prospect of sorts, then you probably shouldn't be doing that. You probably shouldn't be doing that. You should probably just be trying to be friends first because that's honestly kind of the best way to do it. Obviously, there's different situations and everything like that, but I would say like the moment that you kind of stop looking is the moment where it actually happens, really. Like the moment that you're kind of like, okay, I'm just gonna like make friends is the moment where you like fall into things more naturally, stuff like that kind of thing. So if you're worried about people just aren't, reciprocating what you want them to reciprocate, that shit takes time. Chill out. Also, in the other half, if they are just scared of you, then I think you really need to kind of think about that. Okay. I think we did good there. I think we did good there. All right, next question here. All right, get out of here. Go. Be gone. Hi, how's it going? Let's see. Ask two. I I really thought that. Okay. All right. Let's figure this all out here. Okay. So. Have you thought about bigger doors? Bigger doors, or well, what's the thing is though? That's the thing is I don't know what the problem is. There are so many problems that come with having a huge ass. I would know, and there's just so many different problems. So it's like you need bigger doors, more strong pants. I feel like doing wearing a like a Spider-Man cosplay is out of the question for you. I'm sorry to say. Tight pants probably also out of the question as well. Listen, the last thing that you want, okay, all right, is the gates to open, all right, because of a tear, all right. That's the last thing, okay. So I would say anything stretchy fabric. Stretchy fabric is your friend. That's a good one too. Um, let's figure it out here. I'm trying to think about what other problems there might be. If it's maybe invest in like maybe wear like two layers of pants, right? One for soundproofing if it's like clapping. Then you probably need like a little layer of like insulation there. Some soundproofing, maybe some foam, mayhaps. If it's making noise, all right, then that is kind of a problem there. Um, I would say try to always choose one of the end seats on an airplane. That's a good one. So that way you can just kind of scooch over. Um, Let me try to think. Let me try to think about what else. No, I think that's really about it. I think that's really all the advice that I can think of. Soundproof pants. Yeah, exactly. Just invest in soundproof pants that it stops clapping, and then you're good to go. All right, cool. All right, next, please. I really hope that people come here with serious advice here. All right, hi. How are you? How's it going? School. How do you get through it? Okay. Listen, listen. One, one. Don't use ChatGPT. That sucks, and it won't work. It won't work out. But two. Right. It depends on what aspect of school you're talking about, right? Again, very broad question, but I'm gonna be so real. I'm gonna be so real. Learn the material, right? So that way you know how to do it. All right. So that way when you get your fucking like college degree or whatever, you're not just like instantly just kind of like, that's the thing though, is that it's like degrees don't really matter that much nowadays. It's based on experience and based on how well you can actually do the job, right? And also, I'm gonna be so real, especially in, like, I would say specifically in college, right? When you aren't trying to do something more with grades and everything like that, like, do what you need to. Make it as not stressful for you as you possibly can. Do what you need to. If there's extra stuff to do and you need it, then do that, sure. But also, like, don't, like, oh, I feel like I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I as someone who, right, who never experienced college, great question to be asking me, by the way. As someone who's never experienced college and someone who skipped the last year of high school because, you know, YouTube started doing well. Basically, I would say that my advice is do genuinely, like, fuck, this is difficult because I feel like all the advice that I have is just not advice that I would ever take. I'm gonna be so real. All the advice that I would give is like shit that I'm like, I would do this. I'm gonna be so real. Like, yeah, like pass. Just pass, dude. Make sure that you know what you're doing, like what you want to do in a job. You know what I mean? And connections are more important than a degree. I'll say that much. I'm gonna be so real. Like I would say still get a degree if you can, but connections are infinitely more important than a degree. Like having connections to the right people that can get you into the field that you want to get into works 100% more of the time than applying to places and saying that you have a degree. But also go to, I don't know what else to say there. Like, yeah. Like, yeah, connections are important. That's really about it. Yeah, you're welcome. Hope you have a good one. Pow! Get out of here. Poof. All right, what's up? How's it going? Please help me figure out what to do about the fog. It burns. What the fuck is this? Okay. I would say don't go into an exposed steam pipe next time. Next question. Thank you. Really about it. If fog is burning, then it's then that's steam. All right, let's see here. Seriously, isn't silly. I know you're genius. I have straight C's in chemistry. Give me advice, woman of woman. So much to unpack there. So much to unpack there. A fair amount. A fair amount to unpack with that one. Oh man. Chemistry. Let me think about what I learned in chemistry. Chemistry is just a big old puzzle, really. Like, chemistry is genuinely like just a puzzle, and there are rules to it. Treat it like a game. That's how I created chemistry. Is I treated it like it was a strategy game, but with specific rules of like how things like connect to each other. You know, because there are very specific rules, there are specific requirements and stuff like that. And so if you treat it like a game, then you'll have a lot more fun with it. You know what I mean? Like I treated it like a game where I was like, you know, in like rules, right? Like with like, you know, Magic the Gathering, where it's like, you know, oh, you can't do this during your untap step or something like that. Just do that, but with chemistry. Do that, but with chemistry. Do like, oh, I can't do this if this is present. Play school like Fortnite. Next question. Thank you. Taxes. Let me think here. Taxes. Now, let's see here. Do your taxes first off. Number one, do your taxes. Number two, I don't know. Spend a lot of money on horror projects. That way, you never have to pay taxes for like years because of the fact that you haven't made back what you spent on it, and so technically you haven't made anything with as a company. That's what I did. I haven't had to pay taxes in like 3 years. Genuinely, I haven't had to pay fucking business tax because generation loss was such a big expense that I haven't. So I don't really know. I would say like just use programs, talk to people who know how to do it. Really like just make sure that you kind of do it, and it's like I would say like it's it's definitely daunting, right? It's definitely daunting, but it is also the most complicated part of it is when you're trying to get less tax. You know what I mean? Always try to pay as little tax as you can as an individual because of the fact that a lot of it is going towards really, really bad shit. And I would say that if a majority of people that are in, say, you know, like the 99% of sorts, right, aren't paying as much as they would hope, then that means that they'll hopefully maybe take a fucking hit and start taxing the 1% more, right? So the systems are in place for a reason. There's a lot of things that'll save you money, okay? I would say, like, you know, I would say if we were living in, like, you know, a completely different country with a completely different system, being like, oh yeah, pay your taxes, and that's really all I would say. But with this one, I would say genuinely try to pay as little tax as you can. There are benefits that you can have and systems that are set up to that you may not know about that are purposely hidden from you, okay, as little legally. Yeah, don't do shit illegally, but there are a lot of legal loopholes that you can exploit. There are a lot of legal loopholes that you can exploit with taxes. All right. And because of the fact that, you know, 98% of it is going towards, you know, fucking army general's golden toilet, pay as little of that as you legally can. I'm going to be so honest. Pay as little of that as you legally can. Because then you'll have more money for Ranboo subs. Yay! All right. Let's see. Next, what's up? People around me lack whimsy and silliness. How do I get them to embrace being a silly little guy? Now, okay, so this is okay. Let's see here. Let's figure this one out together. It really depends because some people are just boring. I'm gonna be so honest. Some people are just boring as fuck. Not even gonna lie. Like I really like. I'm gonna be so honest. Like if you're if you're at a place where it's like, yeah, just get better people. Find better people. There are people out there who I'm gonna be so real. Okay, the hardest thing to like, let me think about this. The hardest thing to kind of realize is that changing people is a lot harder. You know what I mean? Like changing people is very, very hard than just finding new people to be around. If they don't care enough about you to like, you know, like indulge in like you as a person, then you shouldn't be caring about them enough to want to change them to have you feel better. It's gonna be so real. Like boring people are fine as long as they don't shame you for being yourself. Yeah, exactly. Like there's like I don't know. Boring people can be fun sometimes because they'll think about things differently. Like I think it's important to have people with different mindsets, but also it's like it's harder to change people than it is to just find new people. You know what I mean? That's pretty much it. So, get out of here. What's up? Hey, how's it going? How do I talk to people? I'm very socially awkward and have no clue how to carry conversations on. Oh man. Okay. Hold on. I have to think about this. Okay. Uh, I have to think about this one. I don't really know. I mean, have you tried Adderall? Sorry, that's awful. If I no wait no. Hold on. I can't say that. How do you talk to people? That's how. That's how I carry on conversations. It's infinitely easier when I got medicated. Let's figure this out here. I mean, it's oh man. I mean, it's okay. So one, it's never a bad thing to ask people about themselves. People love being asked about themselves, but also people suck at asking other people about themselves. But also don't be afraid to talk about yourself either. People don't care as much as you think they do. You're a therapist, not a psychologist. Wait. I'm definitely not. Oh boy. Okay. Okay. Oh lord. Oh my god. Okay. Find people common interest. Yeah, it comes down to I feel like half of these when it comes to like socially things are just gonna be are just gonna be like just genuinely like fake it till you make it, figure out what works and what doesn't work. The worst case scenario of like you say the wrong thing isn't going to happen unless you like just absolutely just like just fuck it up, which you probably won't. You probably won't fuck it up. So remember that. All right, next. How's it going? Advice on moving out of your family's house. Let me think about this one. Advice on moving out of your family's house. Okay, so is it in the case of like, okay, let me think about this. So there are different. Again, this is a very broad one because it's like, are you already in moving out, or are you already in the process of moving out, or do you need to move out? Uh, let me think about this one. Hold on, I need to think about this one. 1 second, y'all. I mean, I would say like it's really just a matter of. I mean, it's honestly, yeah, it is just kind of a matter of like funding, really, and money, which is the hardest thing for a lot of people. Um, so it's definitely, I would say, like there's a lot of, like I said, there's definitely a lot of like, like different opportunities that are there that aren't like super readily available. You know what I mean? Like saving is a big thing. Don't move out until you know that you have enough to like sustain yourself for a bit. That's the big one. That's the big one. You know what I mean? Like make sure that you have enough to sustain yourself. Like make sure you have enough in savings to sustain yourself, not just a monthly income, because you don't want to like move out and then some shit happens and then you're like, well, fuck, I don't know what else to do. And then if you're having trouble like getting things out of your house, I would say like like just kind of, because the way that I did it was I just packed a bunch of shit into suitcases and I just kind of like, and then I moved all of them. Oh man, try to drive it yourself if you can. Moving companies are expensive. Think about if your parents are willing to, keep stuff for you for a bit, definitely do that. Especially if you are not moving into as big of a place as your parents have. That's a big one because the last thing that you want to expect to have is just a bunch of shit around. Post office gives boxes for free. Yeah, there's a lot of free resources out there. Befriend someone with a truck. Yeah, befriend someone with a truck. That's a big one. And that's really all I got. Like I said, very very broad, but I hope that helps. Let's see here. What's going on? Making a horror project. Is that it? Is that all you? Number one is make sure you know where it's going, and before you start it, that's the big one. Make sure you know where it's going before you start the story. I would say is the biggest one. Like it is very very obvious in a lot of media, and this is just kind of media in general, in which you can tell when a show has everything planned out from the beginning, and when you can tell when a show did not. Because in the second season, when they realize that they've got funding now, they'll add a lot of just random bullshit that doesn't really matter, and that will result in a worse show. But if you have everything planned out from the beginning, then you can kind of allude to things in the beginning, and then once you are able to make the ladder, it all kind of connects a lot better. You know what I mean? Like Gravity Falls, I feel like is the biggest example of that, where you can tell that they had everything planned out from the beginning because of the fact that everything was alluded to from the very beginning as well. So that's pretty much it. That's what I would say, really. Like just make sure you have everything planned out, or at least like a bullet points of ideas, you know. Because for context, right, the next like little horror project that I'm working on, Oasis, has, let me see here, in just kind of vague bullet points, it has, I thought I was leaking it for a second. It has 16 pages of just vague bullet points. So that's what I would say to do. Is to just make sure that everything is planned out from the very beginning, and then you'll be able to, you'll be able to make everything a lot easier, and you'll be able to be like, this connects to this, instead of just being like, we'll figure out the ending later. Like yeah. That's my advice, I would say. All right, that was a good one. What's up next? Hi, Ranboo. My girlfriend through you. Any advice on proposing? Congratulations, first off. Congratulations. Hope it goes well. Second off, Whew. It's really sweet. No, it's really sweet. Don't do it at a Cheesecake Factory because that was my first thought. Um, uh, make sure. Okay, this is actually something I have advice on. Proposal should not. The idea. Okay, the actual proposal should be a surprise, but the fact that you are proposing should be something that is very well discussed beforehand. I would say that is the biggest thing, honestly. Make sure that you are on the same page about, engagement and marriage and all that stuff, and make a decision of like, okay, like who should propose to who, or should we just kind of leave it up to whatever, kind of thing. Like the proposal itself should be a surprise. I think that's good. But the fact that you are proposing should not be a surprise. It should be a, oh, this is finally happening, rather than a huh, because there's a lot of cases. Like just ask about it. I know it's like hard to ask about because like even the idea of asking about it is kind of like a proposal in and of itself. But also, if it's someone that you want to be married to, I feel like being afraid of even talking to them about it should not be a concerning thing. You know what I mean? Like that should not be a concerning thing. That should not be a worrying thing. If you are thinking about getting married to them, right? The idea of asking them about it should not be something that you are scared to do, because if you are scared to do that, then there is something that you still need to figure out. There's something that you still need to figure out there. That's pretty much it. But don't do it at Cheesecake Factory. Don't do it at a Cheesecake Factory. All right, let's keep going here. What's going on? My plants all have names, but now I feel bad when one dies. How do I emotionally detach from Fernie Sanders? Uh, it's a good name. It's a good name. It is a good name, to be fair. I don't think it's a bad thing to emotionally attach to stuff. I don't know. I mean, like if it's a thing where it's like causing you consistent grief, maybe be better at taking care of plants. I don't know. Like if it's a thing where the fact that your plants are dying is consistently causing you grief, maybe it's not for you actually. Maybe it's maybe you really should be thinking about, maybe you should change the water or something like that. You know what I mean? Like that's pretty much it. Um yeah, I mean that stuff happens though, and mourning isn't always a bad thing. And also, don't name future plants. Don't do it. But if you want to detach from a certain plant, I mean, I don't know. I mean, you can either just kind of let it die and go through that, or you can just kind of live with it, or just do better at taking care of it if it's dying that much. I don't know. I tried doing plants once, didn't work out that well, so I kind of stopped doing it. There was one house plant that came with my LA place. I did it and did not go well. Did not go well. I watered it and then it started coming out of the bottom and then I freaked out. But yeah, that's my advice, I would say. It's good to have emotional attachments. Let's see here. Talk to it to finishing everything. Whenever I do, it's last minute. How do I learn to commit? How do you learn to commit? Is that wait? Okay, hold on. Hold on. I'm assuming you mean to finishing projects. Set easier goals for yourself. Don't just set like, the biggest thing is like set like parts of it to be done by a certain time. So that way you're doing it last minute, right? But you're doing a part of it that doesn't need to be done last minute, right? Use the fear of doing things last minute to your advantage, and instead make it so that you have to do a quarter of it by a certain date, right? And then just kind of do it incrementally rather than all at once. If you split things up into easier to do little compartments, then it becomes a lot easier as well. Also, I think getting medication is awesome, so maybe look into that too. So there it is. Let's figure it all together, guys. Need money now. Okay, so there's a lot of ways to get money quick. And listen. Listen. Okay. There's a lot of ways to get money real fast, okay? If you have Amazon Prime, you can get $5 for free if you subscribe to me. I mean, I'm just saying. Let's see here. Let me think about this one. So, just gonna say, so you need money now. Are we talking like now? Because there are loans. Do you have a good credit score? If you have a good credit score, then you can get a loan, and that'd be pretty good. As long as you don't get one that's like that. There's also a lot of other ways to get money. You can, I don't know how much I can say. You can. There's other ways to get money, but it really depends on where your moral status is at. You know what I mean? Ask your friends for money. Yeah, that's another one. Yeah, ask your friends for money. That can be good as well. You know. Also, job is a big one. I know that it's like impossible to get a job right now, but so that's why I kind of avoided saying it. But you could do that too. It's hard to get a job, Jesus Christ, right now because the market is awful and no one's hiring, but also everyone's hiring. I don't really know, and it really depends on how emotionally detached you are. Because if you're very emotionally detached, then you can potentially work in food service, and that would, I mean, that's money. That's definitely money. You can also, let me think here. Go outside of jewelry shops and dig around in the dirt a bunch, and then sift through the dirt until you find gems. And then when you find all the gems, you then sell it back to the jewelry shop for money. Pick up stuff off the floor. Pick up a lot of stuff off the floor. Go gold panning. Go gold panning, actually. No, that's my answer. That's my answer. Final answer, go gold panning. Go to a river, get some dirt, put it in a pan, and then go gold digging. That's another one. That's another good one. Get some gold. Get some gold in you. If you're in Alaska or like in like a forest near like rivers or stuff like that, then you're good. You're basically set. If you're like anywhere in Alaska, you're pretty much good. So just make sure that you don't get caught because I'm pretty sure some places are protected property. So have fun. Next. Also, I have too many tabs open, but each one feels like a commitment. How do I break up with them? Yeah. What? I can assure you, okay, that your 300 tabs of different AO3 fics are not going to think badly of you if you close them. I want to make that very clear, okay? They're not going to think badly of you if you close them, and you will be able to find them again, okay? Like, or maybe just maybe finish reading the story. Maybe that. Or maybe if it has like a follow feature, maybe like save it or something like that. Make an account or some shit. I don't know. You can bookmark them. Yeah, bookmark. Use bookmarks. I don't know. What tabs do you have open? Do you have open like a cookie clicker tab? Because if you had open a cookie clicker tab, then I would understand actually. if you had open like a cookie clicker tab, then that one I do kind of get. I have 600 tabs of Yuri. What do I do? Repent, maybe? I don't know. I do have a cookie clicker tab. Exactly. All right, next question. next question, everybody. Oh, we are breezing through these. I think my cat has a human soul trapped inside of her because she keeps looking at me like she knows. How do I get it out? She knows? She knows what? What have you done? I feel like there's a much deeper kind of thing here. All cats have human souls inside of them, but it's good because only good people can get reincarnated into cats. I've decided. So, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like only good people can get reincarnated into cats. So I don't think you have to worry about this. Have you tried asking her? Yeah, communicate. Get her those like buttons. Get her all those like communication buttons. You know, the ones that are like, "Why are you a human?" And then it'll respond. Get one of those. What does she know though? Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know. That's why cats are assholes. Yeah, exactly. That's why cats sleep all the time. They were tired. They were tired from their last life. All right. Spirit board with the cat. Yeah, exactly. that's what you got to do. You kind of like you thought about this before, yeah. Because I'm pretty sure all the cats do have human souls inside of them. Because they all scare me. They're all assholes. They're all assholes. All right. Thank you. I hope you get it out. I hope you get the soul out. All right, next, I make too many personas, like way too many, but they're so fun to make. But I have like 12 already. Help. Sell them. Sell them. If you don't care about them, you can sell them for so much fucking money. It doesn't matter. Make a reference sheet and sell them. Make money. Make that bank. If you have 12 and you only care about 3 of them, sell the 9. Sell the 9, make the money. And use that money to buy better drawing equipment, make better personas, make more money, all right? Make that money. Do an adoption kind of thing. All right? If you have 12, I know that you don't care about all 12 of them equally, all right? You do have some favorites, all right? Sell some of them, make some money. Make a story with them. Do some shit, you know what I mean? All right? Lock in. Lock the fuck in. Make them, sell them, money, okay? If you're a furry artist, okay, you can make so much money. Do it. Don't monetize your passion too much because you can burn yourself out. Okay. Womp womp. We got Mr. fucking responsible over here. Okay, whatever. Have you considered that you can buy yourself shit though? All right. Monetize that shit. No, but like if you're able to make like, you know, a lot of personas pretty well, then like you could make a good side hustle there. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Just make have a good side hustle. That's all I'm saying. All right. What if a therapist told you that? What if a therapist was like, dude, you can be making so much fucking money right now? How do I become not a Ranboo fan? Please, it's been 5 years. I've been sub for nearly all of it. Let me go. Tell me how. I don't know. I don't know, man. We need guys. This is not the listen. All right. Okay. I don't know. I'm maybe not the person to ask here. Maybe you should ask. You know the. Maybe you should ask the vast majority of people in the years 2024 to 2025. All right. That's all I'm saying. All right. That's all I'm saying. I'm not the person to ask about this. Listen. This is not the listen. Okay, guys. This is not the you know the feeling that we need to have here, right? We need to be the opposite of this. We need to be, wow, more people should watch me. We need that actually. We don't need all of this anymore. It was funny when there was, you know, more views. But now I feel like it's hurt. Now I feel like it's hurting us a bit. I feel like we need to, you know, we need to bring it back. We need to reel it back in a little bit. You know what I mean? I fear the negative connotations. I think we need to just reel those in a little bit. Maybe we, you know, throw in a couple of, maybe I'm really funny. Maybe we start doing that again. maybe we start doing that. And I don't know. So you want unpaid advertisement? No, that's all I'm saying. You can do what you want. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying it wouldn't hurt to be kind every once in a while. Wouldn't hurt to be kind. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, man. All right, next. Hey, how to stop fighting robots? Why is my eyeball doing that? Bro, I don't know, man. Listen, all right, the only way is, all right, you gotta go cold turkey. You gotta get off the grid, and yes, that includes toasters, that includes microwaves. All right, you gotta move to a remote cabin in the woods, live off the land. All right, you have to. If a tool has more than 3 working parts in it, that's a robot. You might find it attractive. You gotta stop. All right, you gotta go to a cabin, live off the land. All right, if a thing has more, like I said, more than 3 moving parts that works together, that's not the one. That's not the one at all. All right, that could be a robot. You could find that attractive. Next thing you know, all of a sudden, all right, you got some crazy shit going on with an automatic field tiller. Okay, it's not gonna be good. All right, so that's all I'm saying. All right, that's what you got to do. That's the only way. I'm sorry. Or you can keep watching Ranboo Live and subscribe. I'm a fucking awful therapist. Jesus Christ. Okay. All right, next. How do you come up, write the stories you want to make? I really want to make one of my own, but have no ideas on where to start. Dreams are a good one. Dreams are a good one, actually. Dreams are a banger. I would say like try explaining a story to someone, but make it up as you go. That's the biggest one. Like try explaining the story to people and then just kind of make it up as you go and then write it down afterward. That's what I kind of do with a lot of my stories. I find that I come up with everything a lot better when I'm explaining it to someone else because I'll say something and I'll be like, "Oh, that's actually pretty good," or I'll be like, "Oh, that was kind of shit actually." Um, so yeah, I had a crazy dream last night. Actually, I had a crazy story dream last night where it was really good. I don't know if I should say it. I don't know. I might say it. I might talk about it. It was pretty cool. It's a pretty cool story. It's one of those where I'm like, oh, it's actually such a good like little story that I don't know if I should just kind of keep it to myself. You know what I mean? But the gist of it, the only gist of it, right, is that I'm not gonna explain any of the characters or anything of that, right? But one of it was that there was three bells, three like little handheld little metal bells, right? And one of them was like made out of like a red metal and it had like some like symbol on it basically, and it was for bad luck, right? And there was a golden bell which had like a different symbol on it, had like an inverse symbol, and it was good luck. And in the middle was a silver bell with like scales on it that was specifically for karmic justice, right? And in the dream what would keep happening is that we would hear the bad luck bell because someone stole it, right? And then all of a sudden you would just be like looking around because it's like, if you hear the bell, that means that someone near you has been like focused on with it basically. And then just went down. Someone got hit by a meteor, someone got crushed by a fucking laundromat machine. It was crazy. It was awesome. So yeah, it was kind of crazy dream. It did become a little bit of Final Destination there. But then the good luck bell was pretty cool, and then the karmic bell was also kind of sick too. I liked the concept of the karmic bell. I thought that was fun. All right, but anyway, yeah. So that's the thing. Just pay attention to things around you. Get more life experience. That's the biggest one. Let's see here. My friend's group chat is called the Shitters. No, I'm not elaborating. Long story short, I'm trying to convince them all to get in a call and take a. I recommend that you get the fuck out of my office right now. Actually, I recommend that you. I'm gonna be so real. All right. Stop trying. Stop trying to convince them. Stop trying to convince them. Don't do. Get out. Leave. Get out of here. Jesus Christ. Who let that guy in? Wasn't on the list. I don't get my five. Stop jumping on the bed. I'll jump their head. It's not properly insured. Oh man, this is a tough one. This is a tough one. Hold on, I need to take a sip here. Fantastic. Uh, you gotta move. I'm sorry, you gotta move, and you have to abandon them. There's no way. There's simply no way. All right, it won't be your fault if you're not there and not legally responsible for them anymore. So leave them. Let them jump on their bed. All right, if they fall off and bump their head, that's their shit to deal with. Okay. Depends on, yeah. Save the monkeys. I don't know. Maybe actually, don't have them as pets, and instead, go and donate them to a sanctuary that will take care of them and give them all the safe beds to jump on. How about that? How about that? Hmm. Maybe don't. Maybe don't. Maybe don't have the bed available to be jumped on in the first place. Sleep on the floor. Oh, Jesus! Sorry, I clicked. I clicked too many times. Oh, you scared me. How do I finally find this hot single moms in my area? Okay, so okay, listen. Bars. Bars are a big one. You gotta look for the leopard print. Okay, leopard print. Never a sign of someone in a happy relationship. Okay, leopard print is a big one. All right. Okay, so that's a big one too. All right, you gotta look. Okay, for the ones that are just kind of looking around, you know, you gotta go to the bar though. This only works if you can go to a bar. Go to Applebee's. No hot single moms are going to Applebee's. Don't come in here with that ever again. Okay? Don't. Okay? You go to Applebee's on the second date. That's the thing. All right? The second one, all right, is then you treat her nice. You go to Applebee's. Maybe even Chili's if you're feeling a little bit crazy. Really depends on the vibe. You got to figure that out. Okay? Chili's got some good deals. All right? Get that MILF to eat a mozzie stick, and then she's good to go. All right? That's all I'm saying. So it's bar, okay? Bar, Chili's, mozzarella stick, you're good. There's the 3-step program. There's the 3-step program. All right, next one. Let's see here. How does one properly roll a I don't. Okay, I can't. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, I have not blunted before in my life. Okay, I have no idea. I genuinely have no clue. I'm not even kidding. I have no idea. Okay, I don't know. My hands are too big, and I also just don't. I don't do that because I'm scared that it'll hurt my lungs. Okay. I don't know. I guess, like, you have tried? No, I haven't tried. I just kind of assume that my fingers are too big. Okay? Listen, I literally don't. I literally have not ever done this, okay? In my life. Alright? I've never rolled one, okay? Okay? Come on, Ranboo Life. No, I'm not getting peer pressure from you guys. That's stupid. I'm not getting peer pressure. No, next question. Please be a normal one. Cat keeps curling up like a fried shrimp. I'm scared that one day I'll wake up and my cat will just be a shrimp on my bed and my other cat will eat him. I know you have cats, especially ones that look like raw chicken. How do you deal with this issue? Okay. I mean, if your cat turns into a shrimp, I think that's an act of God, and I feel like you are not in any position to be denying an act of God. That's all I'm saying. Because that is a miracle. That is a miracle right there. Right? If your cat turns into a shrimp, that is a genuine miracle there. All right? You've been blessed. Okay? So you can't interfere. I'm sorry to say, you cannot interfere with this. Just let it happen. All right. Thanks, Jungkook. That's Jesus. Oh my God. Okay. Hey, how's it going? Please let it be a normal one. How do I get closer to a Sorry, I clicked the wrong button. What do you mean get closer? Like in what way? Like bread. Bread is a big one. I guess bread. Bread move slowly. Bread move slowly. Don't scare it. And if you cannot get close to pigeons, then that does mean that you have evil in your heart. And sorry, that's pretty much it. That's who you are as a person. You can't change that. Not bread. Seeds, not bread. Never mind. Seeds, not bread. That's right. Bread is bad for birds. I forgot about that. Not bread. Bread bad. Bread bad. No bread. No bread. Only seed, I guess. Yeah. No bread. Sorry, I forgot about that. Someone said bread, and then I went, yeah, bread. You want them to die and explode. No, I do not want them to die and explode. Cannot say the same for some chatters. Maybe I'll feed the chatters bread. Maybe I'll feed the boomers bread until they explode. Maybe I'll do that. Listen, I fed you guys Cheez-Its, so that's all I'm saying. All right, next up here. Let's see. What's going on? How's it going? Ah! Don't know how that one. Don't know how that one got. Jesus Christ. Oh God. Okay, let's keep going. Oh my God, you have so much to say. Sorry. Ah! Ah! No, stop! Stop! What the fuck? What the fuck? Get off the screen! Get off the screen! What the fuck? What? No! No! Get it off of the screen! No! It good. It keeps going. It keeps going. And we got calling. No! Stop! Get out! You can't. You can't be a character alive. How do I get balls? I don't want. Oh Jesus! Let's get out of here. Get out of here. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh no. Oh. Oh my God. Go to church. Go to church. That's what you do. Jesus, man. Oh my God. If you're probably, man. Probably. I probably sound like I probably sound like a tree. I probably sound like a tree. Yeah. Hold on. Let me do it. Let me do an impression of a tree for you. Hold on. That's how it happens. You guys haven't heard trees creak. Clearly you have not heard trees creak before. Okay? Surely you have not heard trees creak before. That's what they do. They go and then they fall. And then they die. So, yeah, probably. Okay. Next question. Jesus. This is quickly escalated here. How do you become successful in 3 easy steps? Step 1, drawing tablet. Step 2, anthropomorphic animals. Step 3, find a NASA engineer. And then you're good. That's about it. That's all you got to do. Pretty much all you got to do there. There's really nothing more. There's really nothing more to think about that one. Oh Lord Almighty, I'm sorry. I'm still recovering from the other ones. Oh, good. All right, you're welcome. Go free. Be free. There we go. What's up? Oh Jesus, the guy's like, he's like super funny and sweet, and we went on a date yesterday, but I fucked up. I ran him over with my car when he got out twice. He's been blowing up my phone since asking about compensation or something. I think he's really into me. So my question is, should I shoot my shot again? What if I run him over a third time? Do you think that will help my chances? Okay, so first of all, I don't think you should be allowed to shoot any shots because you might hit very, very lethally. Second of all, I think the only compensation that's going to really be happening is on his end because of the fact that you probably ran over his balls. Thirdly, I really think that you should probably learn how to drive. I feel like that's a big one. Learn how to drive. That's I feel like that's a good one, really. If you're hitting people 2 times in a row with the car, that means that you backed up. You fully backed up there. You hit him and then you did something more. So that's really about it. So I would say learn how to drive, change your number, move. Listen, if he doesn't know a lot of information about you, don't let him. Okay? Evade. That's all I'm saying. All right. Next person. Come on in here. How's it going? I would like to get better at doing accents and silly voices. Any advice? It's all about the tongue. I've noticed. That's the biggest one. Is that it's all about the tongue with silly voices. You gotta like, it's depending on where you have it. You could have it. You can do a lot. You can do a lot there. And it also matters in like the throat as well. You can go like this and you can swing like this and everything. What accent is that? I'm gonna be so real. I don't feel like I have really any advice to give on how to do different accents other than British. The way that you speak British is that you only speak in vowels. So hello there would be you only use the vowels, and that's really about it. And you speak very softly. All right. So it's like I want to go on the subway is I want to go up boy. That's all you do. You only pronounce how the vowels are pronounced in the word. All right. Oh, oi, that's my country mate. Turns into oi. That's about it. You gotta say tube. See, it's all just the vowels. That's it. That's pretty much it. That's the only thing that I can do. You literally lived in the UK for a while. Yeah, why do you think I'm so good at it? Oh, right, mate. I go there, and I saw what he's saying. See, you guys understand. That's the only accent that I can really do. Let's see here. How to untie my shoelaces. I don't. What the fuck? You don't. I'm gonna be so real. I haven't tied my shoelaces, and I think genuine like. I think like for like 98% of the last 5 years of my life, I have not even tied my shoes because of the fact that I wear shoes that don't need to be tied, but they look like shoes that need to be tied, so they don't look like Velcro shoes or slippers, but they basically are slippers, and it's fantastic. I love it. It's awesome. They're not Velcro. They're not Velcro. They genuinely do have a tie, but the thing is that they literally you just slip it in. You just slip it in. And that's all you got to do. It's awesome. You have toddler shoes? Okay, listen. All right? Tying your shoes, all right, was a status symbol to people who are in fucking elementary school. All right? But I'm an adult. I'm 21. All right? I'm 6'6". I don't want to have to bend all the way fucking down to tie shoes, okay? I just want to be able to put my shoes on and go out the door because I deserve to, okay? That's all I'm saying. All right? So listen, all right, if you're maybe still, a fucking toddler and care about who can tie their shoes and who can't, then sure, all right, care about tying your shoes. But also, I think that we as a society should do stuff that just makes us comfortable instead of what's right, okay? Instead of what is deemed correct by the larger society, okay? That's all I'm saying. And you also shouldn't make fun of when I pronounce my S's strange. It hurts my feelings. All right, next. Thank you. Hey, Ranboo. Oh, God, this is so long. So I met this guy I really like. He always lends me his shoulder to cry on, and he's really chill. Mostly just sits around all day. Every day he wears this really cute little hat. He has soulful eyes. What the fuck? Bright skin, wearing being shaped by how I tell him I like him. I think you need to step the fuck off, actually. I think you need to hop the fuck off. I think you need to get out of here. I think that you need to learn a little thing called loyalty and hop the fuck off. Get out. Get out of here. Get the hell out of here. How dare you? How dare you come into my... Now listen, there's a framed photo right there. You can see it right there in the corner. You have the gall to ask me about that? It wouldn't go for you. You're basic. Love of my best friend, help. Okay, listen, okay? You're in love with your best friend. It's a classic. It is a absolutely classic conundrum, okay? Firstly, all right? Do you think that there's an opportunity? Do you think that there's like potential? Because if you're in love with your best friend and they are in a relationship or not interested in you, then the last thing that you want to do is continue to try to pry until you end up losing the friendship. All right, it's a lot easier to lose feelings than lose a friend. All right. Secondly, if you think that there is a chance, okay, here's what you do: you take them to Chili's and you see how they react to the mott sticks. Okay. As soon as you see that reaction, judge it there. All right. And then if things maybe, you know, one thing leads to another, then you're good. But also, if it doesn't, then you have to respect that and you have to respect the other person, right? Because you have to remember, all right, life is not one of your 300 little tabs, okay? Real people have real stories and real boundaries as well, okay? So if someone sets a thing being like, "Hey, I am not interested in you," then respect that. All right, respect that and go, "All right, like I'm open and honest. I'm here, okay? But I respect that because if they are a good friend, they will respect the fact that you have feelings for them, but they will also trust you enough to not be acting on those feelings. Some things might be strange, and that's okay. It doesn't mean that you're doing anything wrong. That's just how these things kind of go, okay? But also, I'm gonna be so real. Shoot your shot. Shoot your shot if you feel like it's safe and comfortable to do so, and you feel like you have that level of understanding with the person. Because the last thing that you like I said, like if you feel like it won't, if you feel and like you trust them, and that if they are a good friend, listen. All right, if there was if I if there was a really good friend that came up to me and was like, "Hey, I have feelings for you," I'd be like, "I'm good, but cool, all right," and then I would not think any differently of them. And I'm sure that there are a lot of people that feel the exact same way. Could ruin your friendship though. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. That's the thing though, is that if this person is like your best friend, right, and there are someone that you want to engage in a relationship with, right, then they would not they would care enough like about you and for your feelings to not have that be a deal breaker. If that is a complete deal breaker for them, then there might be more to them than you initially thought, and they might not have been as good of a friend as you thought. Because quite frankly, saying that someone like saying that you have feelings for someone and then not acting on it at all is a completely fine thing to do. That is a completely fine thing to do, as long as you are not acting on them, but you are still being like, like honest, being like, "Hey, here's how I feel. Here's like, how I feel about this. How do you feel about this?" And respect their decision. And that's really about it. Like a lot of people kind of make it into this big thing because of the fact, like I said, there's a lot of fiction about it going wrong or going very, very right kind of thing. When in reality, I don't think it's as big of a deal. I don't know. I might be wrong about this, but I feel like it's not as big of a deal as a lot of people make it out to be. I feel like a lot of people will understand and a lot of people will, be understanding and kind. And if they aren't, then probably weren't a good friend to begin with, and they probably weren't someone worth being in a relationship with to in the first place. So that's pretty much it. Damn, I kind of fucking fucked up that one. Good for me. I'm a good therapist. Starting an ARG such video game, is there any things that you wish you knew when starting to write your ARG? Oh man, there are so many things. Come up with a plan before you tease things is a big one. Um, make shit is the biggest thing. Just make it. Like at a certain point, if you're consistently waiting for things to happen or opportunities to arise or a better way to do things, then you're not going to be creating the things that you need to be able to do that in the first place. There's a lot of stories that I have been like, "Oh man, like I really want to make this, but I also want to make it right." I would rather make it than not make it at all. I would rather make it slightly wrong and not be my actual vision than not make it at all at this point. That's how I kind of feel about it. So if shit is, looking like a little like, paper mache animation project, but it still gets across the story that I want it to tell, then cool. Then that's how it works, that's how it looks, that's how it goes. Like not everything's going to be, the TV show that you want it to be. That's the thing. Boundary Stream was technically an ARG to start with. That is true. Technically I have made ARGs if you look at the broad thing of it, pretty much. You know what I mean? So, yeah, if you look at the broad thing, like technically it is, but more so it is a Generation Lost for me is a ARG with the goal of being accessible to people. It is an ARG with the goal of being understandable if you just consume the content that it creates. So, that's the biggest thing. Also, yeah, another big thing is that decide in the beginning how complicated you want it to be, and if you want it to be more of a puzzle or more of a story. Because I feel like and make sure that you have a good handle on both. Because if you have a good story, then it'll make for good puzzles. If you have good puzzles, though, it might not always make for a good story. You can have a really hard to decipher thing, and it can say poopy poopy shithole, all right, and then you're just that's pretty much it. You can have an incredible puzzle, and then it's just a photo of some guy's ass, and then that's pretty much all you got. So the story, I would say, is the most important part. Okay, that's all I would say. The Toucher, God, We need to react to really bad horror ARGs sometime because they're so bad. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Next up here, come on in. How's it going? Where the fuck is he? No, this isn't funny, guys. This isn't funny. Where the fuck is he? I'm scared. Scared. Guys. Guys. I can sense him. Where is he? I'm scared. I don't know where he is. You said his name. You said his name, so therefore he will be there. He will be there soon. What have you done? What have you done? This is awful. Okay. No, it's okay. I think we're okay. Okay. Next question. Oh, Jesus. Oh, no, it's okay. No, we're good. He left. It's okay. Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God, that got me. Oh. Okay, we're good. Oh. Oh. Okay, next question. Next question. Hey, how's it going? I'm have a crush on my best friend. Try has a healthy relationship with another person. What do I do to get over her? Should I tell her how I feel? Ooh, that one's tough. Okay. Firstly, try to lose the feelings on your own before anything else. I would say telling her is like a very, very last resort, if like the only way that you can is by not being around her. You know what I mean? Like, because I would say that if like, you know, if your best friend, right, best friend kind of thing, right, you can't just like, you know, like leave and not say anything. You have to at least give a reason of being like, hey, so, you know, it's really hard for me to be around you because I have these feelings, but I know that you're in a healthy relationship and I respect that. And then you say that kind of thing, right? But I would just recommend, because you might trust your best friend, but you may not know about the other person kind of thing. So I would say just try to infatuate yourself with just someone else. That's pretty much it. Yeah, if you're good for anything, you move on. Yeah, just like it's really something where it's like a lot of it is just not worth saying a lot of the time. You know what I mean? Like if you are able to just get over it, then and it doesn't change how you act, it doesn't change, you know, how you feel, then pretty much just do that. Like recommendations, I would say infatuate yourself with someone else. Maybe like try to use, okay, actually this is something that I learned in IOP, so this is actually I'm not a licensed anything, I also kind of suck, but mindful redirection is a very good tool. So what you do is that whenever you get the thought of like, oh, you know, that was like something that I like, or if it's a thought that you don't want to have, what you do is you go, I accept this thought, I accept that I'm having this thought, let me redirect my thought to something else. That is about it. Like just do that. Just redirect the thought to something else. And the more and more that you do that, your brain will eventually kind of rewire in that way, and then you'll eventually just not even be thinking about it. So that's how it works. That's an OCD trick there, mindful redirection. So hopefully that helps. All right, next. It's so cute. The ultimate flavored jelly bean. I told you guys to get it. I told you guys to leave him alone. I told you guys to leave him alone, I swear to God. The best favorite is cherry, though, and I will not be taking any more questions about that. So it is cherry. It just fully is cherry. That's the thing. it like genuinely. Best method for soft boiled eggs. Soft boiled eggs. Soft boiled eggs. Oh. So you got to heat the water. You have to bring a medium pot of water to boil over a high heat. Then you have to add the eggs, set a timer for 7 minutes. Then while the eggs cook, prepare the ice bath. And then once you have the ice bath, you put the eggs in. And then you peel the eggs. So you just have to boil it for less. New Boober, thank you for the tier 1. I appreciate it. There you go. So you have to just not do it. I paid for your time, not Google. Well, I don't know how to make soft-boiled eggs. I didn't even know what they were for a second. dude. Like that's I didn't even know what they were. But I've had soft boiled eggs before. I just didn't realize that's what they were called. Why are you in this profession? Because what part of any of my jobs has to do with soft boiled eggs? What part of anything has to do with soft boiled eggs? What part of anything that I do have to do with soft boiled eggs? All right? Okay? Listen, the Ranboo Live channel has nothing to do with soft. I'll tell you that much. Jesus. All right, next. Hey, what's up? How's it going? How does one find their passions? How do you know when something's the right path for you? There's more than... Firstly, I would say accepting the fact that there is more than one path that you can take in life, and that is okay. You might really, really like one path for a bit. It might bring you joy, and then you might get to the end of the path, and it might not bring you joy anymore, and you have to go to a new path. Trying to stick to one thing is the thing that will cause you to not really like the path that you're on. How you find things is you have to try different things, right? For example, right, I've recently started really, really liking Magic the Gathering, and I'm trying to get into it professionally. So I wouldn't have known that if I hadn't tried, playing a game, if I haven't tried, playing an actual like game of it and everything like that. And, really, really just, yeah, like I did it by trying it out, by seeing it, realizing, oh, I actually liked, being ranked. And then I did. And then I played it for 2 days straight and then became the highest rank that is possible and went into I think the top 10,000 online players. Hold on, let me see my highest rank. What was my highest rank? Let me look it up. Hold on, because I remember I sent it. I think I got into the top 1,000 actually in Mythic and Magic the Gathering. Let me see here. Yep, I got to 800 one season. So pretty cool. So basically, just try, figure out what you enjoy, figure out what you don't enjoy, and that's like, it's literally just try. If you're not gonna try new things, then you're not gonna know what you like, you're not gonna know what you enjoy. Don't be afraid to try multiple things at the same time, and also don't try to put all your eggs in one basket immediately. And also, my face tracking just failed. Oh, what the fuck is going on with my face? Ah, there it is. I'm back. Hey everyone, how's it going? It's me. All right, cool. Let's see here. So, yeah, but yeah, no, I would say just have fun. Really, that's the biggest thing. Is that if you're in a spot where you can just have fun doing what you do, then do that above all else. Really. All right, next up, let's see it. Oh, I've been waiting for this one. All right, so. Oh, holy shit, my heel. Oh my god. Oh Jesus. Oh my god, I hit the heel on the top of my desk. Oh my god. Okay, we're good. I actually have a bowl of slop right next to me because I had food before stream. So there are two different kinds of slop that I make. First slop, both of them have to do with a Mexican blend of cheese or 3 cheeses. Okay, so that's what you do. You get 3 cheese. All right, you have to get more than 1 cheese. If you do just more than one type of shredded cheese, then you're doing it wrong. All right. Firstly, all right, here's the first slop that I make. All right. First is you get shredded chicken, okay? Then you get pre-cooked shredded chicken, all right? Write this down. And then you put it into a bowl. You put some water into that bowl. You heat it up a bit, right? And then you break down the chicken more as much as you can, right? With different utensils. Then what you do is you get taco seasoning, okay? You open up the pack, you put it in, all right? Depending on how much chicken you have, you got to make sure that it gets to the right kind of color, all right? And then you put it all in, you kind of mix it around, and you have to mix it, okay, until you get, all right, a lot of the water evaporated, okay? Because once you get the water evaporated, then all the flavor is soaking into it, you know what I mean? And then you take it out, all right? You put it into little containers. You do not mix it in with the cheese, okay? When it is by itself. You have to have the taco chicken by itself and the cheese separately. And then what you do is you grab some of the chicken, put it in a bowl. Grab some of the cheese, put it in a bowl. You mix, you heat it up. You keep mixing, you heat it up, and then you got slop, all right? You have to make sure that you can't see the difference between the cheese and the chicken. They have to be one entity. All right, but if you aren't willing to do all of that hard work to make slop, Here's the second recipe that I do. I get canned chili. I open it up. I put it into a bowl. I get the same cheese as before. I put it into a bowl. I stir it around a bit, and then I microwave it for a bit, and then done. That's the second slop. So if you aren't willing to do all of the steps in the first one, the second one is just as good. All right, you're welcome. You think maybe why this is your so cat? But a soft boiled egg is too much. Yeah, because I don't know what it is. How'd you discover slop? I was a young lad, and I loved having little taco meat. And what I would do is I would put cheese in it, and then I would eat that. And then every single time we went to Chevy's before I ate raw chicken there, and then we never ate at Chevy's again after I ate fully raw chicken, I would get a bowl of guacamole, and that was it. And I would eat that whole thing. I would get one of the large family-size bowls of guacamole as a kid, and I would eat all of it all at once. And then I would pass out for the rest of the day. I had a wonderful life as a toddler. It was fantastic. It was beautiful, really. Yeah, there's the slop recipe. You're welcome. That'll be $400. How do I convince my parents to let me get a Sphinx cat? Okay, depends. Okay, so firstly, they are cleaner. They are way cleaner than any other kind of cat. They are seriously like they are so clean. You don't have to worry about fur. You don't have to worry about they groom themselves pretty well. Literally all you have to do is give them a bath, occasionally wipe them down as well. It is so easy. The maintenance is very, very simple. All right. Nextly, they are fantastic. Okay. They do not have the personality of an average cat. They love cuddling. They want to steal your warmth, so they will be with you. They have the kind of demeanor of like a nice little dog. You know what I mean? Are they also good for people with cat allergies? Most are, yes. Most are good with allergies. They're hypoallergenic. Or at least if you have an allergic to fur, if you're allergic to fur, right? Then doesn't matter. If you have a very severe cat allergy, sadly, the dead skin cells might do something to you, but that's really about it. Sorry, someone just asked what's a nodder in chat, and it was just really just funny. Okay, just sorry. I know it was a genuine question, and I appreciate it. Download BTTV. It was just the way that you asked was really funny to me. Anyway, no, nothing to be sorry for. You're good. It's a fair question. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, but yeah, no, there's a lot of good reasons too. They're very easy to take care of. The good thing is though as well is that they're very easy to tell if they have problems as well, because of the fact that you can see their skin, right? So if something is, if something's going on with them, right, you can see their breathing, you can monitor their breathing easier, you can monitor their, their skin better, you can just overall just really you can take care of them a lot easier too, I would say. And added plus, if you get more than one, then they'll have slap fights, and it literally sounds like they're just smacking the shit out of each other. It's awesome. It's literally just like it is a smack. It is awesome. It is so funny. But they're really sweet, and I highly recommend them. I have cool cats. All right, next. Hey, how's it going? One of my chickens approached me while I was collecting eggs and looked at me, and in perfect English, she said, "No one will believe you," and then she disappeared back into the coop. Is she still safe to eat? I would eat her instantly. I would do that instantly, gain the powers, and then you win. All right? You cook her, you gain the power of the chicken, all right? But the only way to activate the power of the chicken, all right, okay, is you go to a magical wizard called a diagnosing psychiatrist. And then he will give you the magic little circles that you need to gain the power of the chicken. All right, all you have to do is eat the magic little circles, and then boom, you'll have the power of the chicken within you. So go forth. Go forth and do it. Do it. For your good. Please. Oh man, I remember that Moonsy was making a fucking really a really fucking awful joke about being like to like oh boy, I don't actually know. Never mind. I'll let them tell this later. Never mind. I'm not gonna say. But okay, actually I will say it. But it was basically like it was just really really terrible advice for like for quote unquote sort of like like fake TikTok witches basically, where it's like, guys, your SSRIs inhibit your magical powers. It's just like, oh, it's just not good. Anyway, next up, let's see it. I need a senior quote. Listen, the only good quote that I know, okay, the only good quote that I know is from the wonderful, wonderful, beautiful, fantastic, bald Pitbull. All right. And he said, life is not a waste of time, and time is not a waste of life. So let's stop wasting time, get wasted, and have the time of our lives. Dale. That's really the only quote that I can give you. That's really the only quote that I can give you. That's about it. Like, there's nothing else that will ever top that. Happy Hispanic Heritage Month, everyone. Next question. Bio, I'm just imagining you with just like little, like just like waving fucking tiny little flags, just going, yeah. Okay. Oh, and there it is. There's the last question. Thank you. We'll leave it on that note. That's a fantastic note to leave it on, actually. But yeah, thank you to Mason for the backgrounds. Thank you to Courtois for particle stream setup and making the PowerPoint as well. Thank you to the mods team for shoveling through the submissions. Really appreciate it. Thank you guys for your submissions as well. This will not be the last time that we do this. Worry not. This will not be the last time that we do this. We will do this again because this was very, very fun. I hope that you guys have fun. This was a fantastic stream, actually. This was I think very, very good. We've got some good clips in there. Yeah, no, we'll do this one again for sure. I hope that you guys like the little like setup and everything. I really liked using it. I was originally going to try doing it like IRL, but then I found that it just didn't work with the cartoon background, and I also really liked the facial expressions a lot better. So I hope that you guys liked it too. Yeah, I will see you guys on Wednesday for the subathon. I'll see you guys on Wednesday for the subathon, and because you're here, okay, I'm going to leak one of the sub goals here. I'm gonna leak one of the sub goals real fast. Let me pull it up because you guys are all here. Let me leak one of the sub goals here because we're doing the subathon. It's kind of like a marathon subathon kind of thing, but it's basically each sub goal unlocks the next day kind of thing. Like we have sub goals that unlock the next day. So okay, wow. So I'll give you guys two of the sub goals. One of the sub goals is making music with no knowledge of music. That's a good one. I'm excited for that one. And one of the up there sub goals is going to be Minecraft speedrun stream with a period simulator. And I put that one real high. So if you guys want to try to hit that one, then you can. But yeah, so I put that one real high. So I'll see you guys on Wednesday at 3 EST. It'll be a little bit earlier to make up for the day. The first thing that we will be doing, I'm pretty sure, is going to be playing through all the way through until we finish it. Resident Evil Village. And it's gonna be pretty fun. It's gonna be pretty fun. But don't worry, towards the weekend I put also a lot of the games that people have been wanting me to play too, so we shall see. All right, guys. I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Subathon next Wednesday. Spread the word. Talk about it. I'll see you guys then. Bye-bye.